If you ask my grandmother how my grandfather was doing, she'd always say, compared to what? So I want to talk about two paths, very distinct, especially in retirement. One is raising in advance, and the other one is reacting to what you need to raise. So, like many things in life, I learned the importance of one over the other. And it was early in my career. I had siblings that inherited some money from their parents. I was sitting at the kitchen table talking to the clients about what do they want to do with some of what they have. And they thought about it, and they were quite conservative, and they were concerned about where monies would come from. And I tried to explain to them that history shows you can take about a 4 to 5% withdrawal from your portfolio. The markets had done better than that. And just encouraged them, hey, if we could set aside 5%, what would you do with it? And immediately she shot out, I'd go on a 3-week trip to Egypt. I want to see the pyramids. I said, hey, then let's raise it. Markets are up. Set it in a money market, and you plan the trip, which they planned for the following year. And about a month before their trip, I get a phone call from the other sibling. It was actually the brother, who calls me and says, I need 30 grand to go to Egypt. And it turns out he was going to go with his sister. And there was one fundamental problem. In the financial crisis, which we were in the thick of, markets had cut things in half. And so now he wants to take, in this hypothetical, a $30,000 distribution on a $300,000 portfolio because the markets had cut things in half. And instead of a 5% distribution, now it's a 10% distribution. And I told him that's going to be very painful, because if the markets recover, it'd be the equivalent of like taking $60,000 for this vacation. Over time, the siblings didn't see. What I saw was a huge difference in their overall portfolios as they continued to grow, because one took a substantial hit when they took that money out of the portfolio when the markets are down. And from that experience, we learned here at Forum Wealth that there's an enormous difference to pre-funding what you need with what you have when the markets are doing well, and defining the short term as 12 to 24 months into the future. If you know you're going to be doing something, let us help raise in advance of that need, then putting ourselves at risk of reacting to that need when it shows up in the calendar and next month you need it. And now we're at the mercies of the markets when we go to raise those funds when you knew you're going to need it. Said differently, especially in retirement, you can time when you need money. You can time when you want to take things out of your portfolio. You can time when you do the home improvement or the new car or the gift to the kids. You know these things are coming, and the more you can communicate with us what you want, the more we can define what your timing is for needs, instead of reacting to the markets that we have no control over. You can't time the markets, but you can time when you take money out.